Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. What I have here on the screen is a video I did 2 weeks ago. It only has 62 views. This video in particular is where I'm talking about how pay-per-view is being graded using a curve. And since there's such a big issue going on right now with Gervonta Davis and how he supposedly only sold like 61,000 pay-per-views, how they're looking at when Deontay Wilder only, supposedly sold like 71,000 or 77,000. And the whole thing about Terrence Crawford, supposedly selling 120,000. But that's probably not even accurate either. My thing is, we don't know, first of all, we don't know what's true and what's not. Secondly, if you're looking at the type of numbers that guys are doing in the UK, you can't really compare that against here to the States because the price point is different. All right? And then 3, unless it's the fly on the wall talking, just be careful, man, coming out here and kind of, echoing this stuff, man, because I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter if Gervonta Davis did 50,000 pay-per-view sales, 100,000, 300,000. The bottom line, like I've been saying, is pay-per-views being graded using a curve, and I don't think these fighters are really aware of what these promoters are doing to them. Now, I'm going to read to you what's been on my website from this video that I did 2 weeks ago that only has 62 views. And what this shows you is most people who follow boxing, they don't want to take time to be educated. They don't want to take time to read and listen to this, what some of them find is mundane. They want to hear someone out here cussing, being ignorant, talking about Earl Spence is a duck, Crawford is a duck, Wilder is a this, Tyson Fury is a this, just basically coming out here and people being clowns for your entertainment. Now, there's a time and place where you can be a bit more humorous and have fun with a topic. But when it comes to this, people really need to get spun up on it because it's like I said, more fighters are going to start to become disgruntled because they're going to see what's going on. Now, what I posted here was pay-per-views being graded using a curve. The term grading pay-per-view on a curve describes the various methods a promoter uses to adjust the figures that fighters deliver on an event one way or another to give the idea that a pay-per-view event today is as successful as events during the Mayweather era. Now, we all know during the Mayweather era, that was just special, but these promoters have to still make these fighters feel that, hey, we're going to give you 50% of the pay-per-view sales. We'll get 60% of the pay-per-view revenues. And that can make a fighter feel special. Still thinking there's a chance of them doing 500,000 or $1 million, which we know is not going to happen. Now, continuing on. The amount paid to a fighter today is significantly less than what boxers were paid over the last few years. Just look at what's happening here right now, if those numbers about Gervonta Davis are true. However, depending on the low guarantee a fighter receives, which those guys at PBC, they're the ones putting on all these weird pay-per-view events, their fighters are getting guarantees of like 500,000, 1 million, maybe 1.5, right? Super low guarantees. Now, they can be made to feel that their promoter's taking care of them because once the final revenues are tabulated, the fighter ends up seeing, what could be up to an 800% increase in their purse, which is true. If you're giving a guy $1 million, right? And let's say the guarantee is $1 million and he somehow does 250,000 pay-per-view sales at $75, that considers a win. But it's really a flop when you look at what was happening, yesterday. So those sales could equal 18.8 million. And that looks good, but really it's not that great. And we need to understand that. Now, that doesn't include the live gate. But that looks good, right? But now, when we understand what was going on before, an event today at 250,000 pay-per-view sales at $75 is 18 million compared to what an event like some of these events that they were doing before, where it's more like 750,000 pay-per-view buys at $75. Now you're talking about 56 million. So that's a loss of over $37 million for that promoter and $7 million for that fighter. Now, what's happening right now is these fighters can't even get to 250,000 pay-per-view sales. Remember, the 500,000, 750,000, 1 million pay-per-view buys, that was kind of the range, what we were seeing before. Then we kind of seen what was happening here in the last few years. That, kind of, 150 to like 350 is kind of the range. And now we're seeing what's happening now, the way these guys can't even crack 100,000. So as far as their fight purses and the $20 million paydays and all that, man, that's out the window. It's not happening. So I wanted to bring this to you guys again so y'all could take time to go and look at this video that I put out. It goes in depth. It's not a boring video. It's very interesting to understand what's happening. Because look, at the end of the day, I just did a video today talking about creating a demand, right? Look at that video as well. Matter of fact, while I got you on here, I'm gonna show you that video too, right? Creating a demand. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me go to my channel and let's pull it up. Creating a demand, right? I just did it. Right here, this one. Creating a demand. Let's skip the ad, 3, 2, 1. You guys need to look at this one as well. All right? I'll go ahead. I'm going to pause right there. Twitter and YouTube screens for a fight. Doesn't matter if the market doesn't show a demand from the fans. Look at those two videos, and then let's go from there. Okay? But it's really unfortunate of what's going on out here with Tank and just all these boxers. They're just not going to get paid the type of money that they want to get paid. But it does require them to have the right dancing partner. Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis should do really good numbers. I'm not saying they're going to crack 500,000, but it should be better because it takes a dancing partner. But at the end of the day, this whole thing about I'm fighting on pay-per-view, I'm a pay-per-view star, that's over, man. These pay-per-view, just because you're on pay-per-view doesn't mean you're a star anymore. It doesn't mean that. I think Arreola and Ruiz were on pay-per-view, weren't they? That wasn't pay-per-view worthy. It's because the money's drying up, man. Like, those are the facts. So these fighters are going to get smart. And they're going to figure out real quick what's going on. But that being said, y'all keep cool. Check out those two videos. And we'll go from there. I'm in the breeze.